if you have a project you want to do, you'll allocate time in your calendar to be able to concentrate on it. If there's a relationship you want to cultivate, you'll put time into your life to spend time with that person, whether it's a new relationship or whether it's an old relationship. If you're looking at a business partnership, you spend a lot of time getting to know the person. If you want to create a new product, how much time do you put into working on that product? And it occurred to me that we tend to squeeze our relationship with money time into an activation, into a relaxation, into moments between. And we never prioritize it as something really important. And I remember one woman, and I've told the story many times before, the woman who had a herniated disc, and she decided to take 24 hours to simply work on that. She wanted to heal it. And so she allocated that 24-hour period to focus on that particular issue. And she was successful the next morning. It had gone. It was fine. There was no more pain. Everything was fine. So what would happen if you decided that your relationship with money, with the energy of money and the being of money, was so important that you put some time into cultivating it in the way that you would a relationship? So if you have a relationship with a human being and you spend all your time with your head in your computer and in the work of things and in meetings about something else, you don't end up with a very good relationship with that person. And it's very easy to see, if you think of money as being fundamentally a relationship, everything that connects with money is about relationship. Money connects you with clients, people who want what you have to offer, and it connects you both ways. It connects you with whole markets. It connects you with people who can put money into your business. It connects you in partnerships. It connects you in giving. It connects you with your family. It connects you in the sense of enabling you to do all the things you do, whether it's wear a pair of shoes so you can go for a walk in the wilderness, or get in your car so you can drive to the wilderness, or wear a swimming costume so that you can play around in the freedom and the nature of the ocean. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter how much you have a natural life. Money is also involved. The energy of money is involved much more broadly than the cash of money. So the energy of money is the energy of delivery of our wishes, essentially. It's like the genie in the bottle. And so whenever we wish for something, that energy is activated. It doesn't always require money as we know it for good things to happen to you, or for whatever, not always good things. It doesn't always involve money. But the system of money, the energy of money, is behind that. It's the same delivery system, regardless of what it is in your life. And so having a good relationship with this energy that is the delivery system of your life is what enables you to manifest. It's what enables you to bring into being, to create the life you want, or it's part of the delivery of the life that you're living. If you are not living the life you want, the first place to look is in your relationship with the energy of money. Even if it's your relationship life that is not the way you want it, or your physical health, they are still connected with that same energy. And therefore, this is a primary relationship. in our life. And if you think of it that way, and think probably of how you've treated it in your life. And you may understand your exact financial circumstances by looking at the way that you have treated that primary relationship. So sometimes we've made it really, really, really hard work. Sometimes we've made it into an enemy, as if that enemy wants to avoid us all the time. And you can imagine if the energy that's coming out of you towards another person is that you're an enemy. You're scary. I don't trust you. I don't have any faith in you. The energy that comes off from you, even if that person is really kind and loving and friendly, which they may be, is going to be so difficult for them to come towards you. So think of it like a primary relationship. If you're very romantic about primary relationship and over-demanding and nothing is ever good enough for you, think of the energy that puts out to other people, that they can never be good enough for you, and how that holds them away. Or if you compare yourself all the time, and therefore you have some thoughts in any relationship, it can be a business relationship or a personal relationship, whereby your comparison with other people, you are somehow unfitting for this relationship. Think what that does to your energy. Think of the way that it holds you back. You know, the minute you start comparing yourself, I'm not as good as that person, and so this person I want to have a relationship with is going to look down on me. The main effect that has on your energy is it retreats. And when your energy is retreating, other people feel that, and they will feel a retreating as well. They will retreat from you. And it creates a kind of isolation and loneliness, because you don't have that kind of open, easy, outgoing, moving towards people. You know, those people who are just so friendly and easygoing, and they move towards everybody. They're not shy. They don't compare themselves. They just immediately engage with other people. They don't have fear around people. They don't have fear of failing around people. They don't think, oh, maybe I'm not okay. They just open-heartedly and generously welcome everybody into their life. Really nice, kind of friendly, loving, kind, generous energy. And think how that makes you feel. How that it warms you to that person. It makes space for you in their life. It makes you feel comfortable around them. And when somebody doesn't have that, even if they like you, they will often give signals of not liking you. We watched a very kind of funny, sweet, interesting movie yesterday called Just to Be Sure. It's a French film. And because of the situations, the central character, who was a man, his face was incredibly expressive. And sometimes he was in a situation at one point, he was given some news, and in one way it was really, really good news for him, but in another way it was really bad news. And he was with a woman who wanted to tune in. The good news would mean that they could have a relationship together. She didn't know what the bad news was. And when she saw him reading the message that gave him this good news and bad news, and his face fell at the prospect of the bad news, and she took it that he therefore didn't like her, and she stomped out of the room crying and really, really upset because she wanted him to like her so they could have a relationship together. She completely misunderstood that the bad news was not about her, and she stormed off. And it all worked out fine in the end, but it was just a beautiful little picture of how in a moment where we react to something in our life, we push other people away without them knowing why. We get caught up in this bad news in our own little world and other people don't can't come in there. So think about when something goes wrong in your life and you get so focused on that it closes you off energetically. It's so easy to do. That closes you off to money as well. Because it's a relationship. It's a love relationship. The minute you feel inadequate, you feel unsure about your value and the value of what you're offering and the value to the other person, the minute you feel that hesitation in the relationship and you retreat rather than moving forwards, you close off to some of that energy of money. There are so many situations, if you can look at your own personal patterns in relationship, you will find that the same patterns repeat in money. So it's really good to think about what's the weakness that you tend to have in relationship. Are you one of those people who, goes too quickly, goes over the top and then pushes people away? Are you somebody who's always trying to improve another person, never can really relax and enjoy with them? Are you somebody who's too serious with it? Are you somebody who's really heavy with it? Are you somebody who pushes people away, isolates yourself? There are so many different ways. And if you look at that, I'm pretty sure that you'll find that you're the same with money. And so it is an energy. And if you can open up to the energy, the nice thing is that the energy is what will actually educate us how to have a better relationship with it. If you can touch into that energy, the energy of money itself is so generous. It is the ultimate generosity. It is so totally available, but not available in a loose way. It's available in the way of being available for, how can I say it? It's like, it's available to be attracted with quality, with love, and with love for yourself. It's freely available all around you all the time. There is money for everybody. Potentially, there's huge amounts of money available for everybody. We grow our capacity for it little by little over time. So it's, if you get some kind of instant availability, you might get something from that, but you need to grow your capacity. You need to grow your strength and your stability with it. It's just like a personal relationship. You might have an instant hit with somebody, but even so, if you jump in too fast, you'll still come across the blockages and the fights and the barriers and things. Even if it's a really powerful relationship, you still have to build the relationship or grow the relationship. It's the same with money. You still have to get to know each other. So the shortcut is to be able to connect with the energy of it, because when you receive that energy itself contains the message of money. And the message of money is generous. It is loving. It doesn't discriminate against people ever. So it goes where it's able to flow. And where it's not able to flow, it goes elsewhere. And so it's not an energy that says you're a bad person, you can't have any of me. It's an energy where if you say, I don't want you, I don't welcome you, don't come into my house, then it'll stay at the door. But it'll be there. It doesn't go away. It's everywhere. It's all around us. You can't shut it out completely. But the question is, how much can you welcome it into your life? And it's not just about cash and money and what's in your bank account and investments. It's about the richness of what's delivered to your life. It's about your relationships. So money is the energy that delivers us relationships of all kinds, personal relationships and business relationships. That may sound a really odd thing to say, but it's essentially the same energy. A relationship is something you want to experience. Maybe you want a partnership. Maybe you want an investor. Maybe you want a lover. They're all the same. It's the same energy, just different requirements for each one, different experience that you're going to have with them. And so when we struggle with any of those kinds of relationships, we can look at our connection with this energy of money, this energy that supplies us in life, that makes all that abundance actually possible, that makes it happen. And look at where we've closed it down in different ways. And then we can do what we need to do to open it up again. One of the very, very simple things is to be able to feel it. Just this sense of richness. Like, I don't mean richness, how one conceptualizes having millions of dollars in the bank account kind of richness, but more that richness of a rich experience, a rich feeling. And you can feel that with that sort of feeling, having more money in the bank account also is very easy. It can easily be a part of it. And it's just as easy when it isn't, because you know that everything flows and you know that everything you need and everything that you want is on its way to you, so you don't have any fear. And so to connect with that energy, to really feel it, it educates you in relating with it. Just as if there's another person you want to have a relationship with, if you're afraid and you don't speak to them, you never get to learn anything about who they are and what they want and how to relate with them. If you go towards them, if you connect with them, then you'll start to learn about them, and you need to listen and observe and discover and explore how to grow a relationship with them. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're really great at relationships. A person who's great at relationships is somebody who's more willing to put in the time for the exploration, more willing to really spend time to get to know the other person, to listen to them, and to appreciate them, and to want to fit with them, and at the same time not to lose their sense of self. So if you can get to know more, if you can walk towards the energy of money and open yourself to it and receive it, as you receive it, you get to know more about how to relate with it. If you retreat from it, if you hate it, or you push it away, or you're afraid of it, or you make a great big deal of it, and you're not good enough for it, and all of this stuff, you don't get that chance to connect with it and experience it as itself, educating you at the energy level, at the message level, implanting those messages in you of generosity and abundance and everything else that goes with that. So simply by opening to that energy, receiving it, experiencing it, getting to know it better, you change internally, and the physical material change will follow from that. Because if you have that open-hearted, warm, rich feeling inside you, it's so much easier for everything that you want to come towards you. And when you have that cold, hard, closed off feeling, it's just so much harder. And you see that. You see people who are very cold and hard. It's hard for them to welcome people into their life. It's hard for them to welcome money. Now, you can say there are plenty of really hard people in business. That's true. But if you look at people, if you really look at their relationship with money, there are people who work very, very, very hard for their money. They absolutely make space for the money in their life. Now, they may have all kinds of attitudes that destroy other parts of themselves in the process, and that's not what we're about. We don't want that kind of, I'll have lots of this and a denial of everything else. But fundamentally, for us, if you can feel really, really connect with that energy, experience it, get to know it, get to know how it flows, get to know the rules, the law by which it operates. So with every financial transaction, just like with a new relationship that you're really interested in, everything, every bit of it is interesting. It's the same with money. And it's not just about the markets and the business and all of that. It's also about you and how you connect with it and how you experience it and how you manage it and process it and flow it, because that, the way you are with it, will affect everything that you do with it. And so to go back to where we started, ask yourself how much time you spend with that compared to how much time you spend with the externals of money. And maybe one day it would be interesting to flip it around. Don't do it on a day when you have a lot to do, but on a day when you don't have much to do. What would happen if you gave that day to cultivating your relationship with money, spending time with it, just like you would with a relationship? You have a new relationship. It's like, oh, I'm far too busy today. I'm far too busy. I've got to work. I've got to work. I haven't got time to see you. Haven't got time to sit down with you. Yes, I want to have a relationship with you. Come and marry me. Let's do it. Let's whatever. But I'm sorry, I don't have time for you. I don't have time to just be with you, to be in your presence, to get to know you. So that would be an interesting experiment.